It's at midcourt for the win. He got it!
Three, out of defense.
Zamora.
Welcome to another installment of Moments with Mario, featuring New Mexico State University Athletic Director Mario Mocha. Moments with Mario is brought to you by BMC Technologies. BMC Technologies is a full-service technology company that empowers small businesses and specializes in cybersecurity, networking, and managed services. Forward, but let's talk about something that you and I are both really super passionate about, and that's beer.
Yes, one of my favorite topics.
Absolutely, and as mine as well. But it seems to me that you've become a fan of beer, but not just regular beer, but collegiate craft beer. Can you kind of explain how you came about your collection of collegiate craft beer, which includes, LSU, Purdue, Wichita State, Montana?
Sure. Our licensing company, so the company that makes sure that, all the Aggie gear and Aggie stuff around the country is licensed and manufactured properly, Collegiate Licensing Company, CLC, they approached us. And they asked us, hey, what do you think about consumables? And we're like, well, what do you mean? And they said, well, like a craft beer. I said, wow, I don't know. Because at the time, there was only 4 universities that had embarked on this. It was Montana, LSU, Louisiana, Lafayette, and Tulane, right? 3 of them in Louisiana. So the chancellor at the time was Gary Carruthers. So I visited with him about the concept. He kind of wasn't sure. We ran it through legal at the university. They said, hey, look, there's no more liability with somebody drinking a Pistol Pete's than a Coors Light or a Miller Lite, et cetera. So the university said, hey, let's dip our toe in the water. We actually came up with a bunch of possible names, and we used a marketing class, an upper-level marketing class at New Mexico State to do some testing. They're the ones that selected Pistol Pete's 1888 Ale. Randall Dominguez, who was a student intern at the time, did our graphic artwork, and she won a Marcom gold medal for not just the can that you see here, which is wonderful. It's a great branding, but as well as the box that it comes in. And it first launched in kegs. And I guess I'll go back a little bit. Our friends at Bosque Brewing, which is, arguably, I think it goes Santa Fe Brewing and then Marble and Bosque are kind of like vying for 2 and 3 in the state. Mm-hmm. They had created a beer, and they didn't have a name to it, and it was a light, drinkable, a golden ale beer. And they said, well, hey, let's let this be your beer. And it was out in kegs. And first it was locally, about 30 places. You could go to a restaurant or a bar and get a Pistol Pete's 1888. But when it came out in the can format, that's when it exploded. Because while you wear an Aggie shirt or a hat, and there's a little revenue that goes to the department, every single beer that's consumed is money that goes to the department. So it really exploded. And our friends at Admiral Beverage, that's Miller Coors, they're the distributors of Pistol Pete's 1888 statewide. And I just got a report in a couple weeks ago. You can find Pistol Pete's 1888 in 273 locations statewide.
Wow.
So you've got 59 areas in Las Cruces. That's anywhere from Pickwicks to restaurants to bars, et cetera. 51 locations in Albuquerque, and then it's spread out to another 271 locations. So I'm looking at a map. Have you ever heard of Fruitland, New Mexico?
I've never heard of Fruitland, New Mexico.
Okay, it is like west of Farmington. Its population, I looked it up this morning, 1,660. But you can go in wherever the store is in Fruitland, New Mexico, and buy. So it's wonderful marketing for the institution because, as you see here, it's got the fight song on it. Mm-hmm. It's very Aggie-ized. And it's also a way to support the program, and it's a wonderfully drinkable beer. I wasn't a craft brew expert, but this beer, Pistol Pete 1888, went to the Great American Beer Festival, and it took a bronze medal. Oh, well, wow. I didn't really know what that was at first, but it was 157 entries from across the nation in the category of, the Golden Blonde Ale. And I know that the makers, Gabe Jensen and Kevin Jameson, who are both Aggie alums mm-hmm. and owners of Bosque, were unbelievably proud. But you really see sales shoot up during the season. And we're just really excited. It's a very unique project. It's also been a very an unknown, untapped revenue source. And we are always looking for new revenue, obviously,
no pun
in the
intended with
department.
the tap. But
I slid that in there.
I think it's really amazing, even too, the fact that it has the fight song, the words of the fight song on the can. And obviously in the fight song it says we'll drink a keg of booze and drink it to the Aggies so we wobble in our shoes. And now we've got our own beer, so that's just amazing.
Yeah, it was interesting because Colorado State beat us to the punch. They came out a few months before, and they came up with their Aggie Ale because they used an old logo. Everybody knows them as the Colorado State Rams, but they did like a retro theme. And I want to say it was like in 1957 and before, they were known as the Aggies until they switched.
Right.
So they kind of gobbled up that Aggie name, but I certainly like what we did a play on. Obviously, when the institution was founded in 1888, you got Pistol Pete in there, who's a very unique mascot. Right. Yeah, I think everything about how our can looks, and if you follow me on social media, I collect these cans, and I take pictures periodically, so I think we have the best looking can, in addition to the best tasting beer out there.
Well, until we have Mario's Malt Liquor, I think that we'll deal with Pistol Pete's 1888.
Yes, we're right in front of Laughing Clown Malt Liquor from Talladega Nights. But no, this is a little more classy beer, and it's great. Bosque is exploding from a business standpoint, too. So not only can you buy this around the community in 59 locations, you can get it at football or at Aggie Memorial Stadium and at the Pan American Center and at Aggie Baseball and Softball. They are opening up a new location in town as well. They're taking over that Pizza Uno,
right, and
hopefully in November. So that's one more location that people will be able to sample the product, and it always gets rave reviews.
Well, like I said, that's a great thing. And Mario, thank you so much for spending some time with us. And that'll do it this week for our Moments with Mario.